Hi friends, welcome back to Fastcuts. Today we are introducing a psycho thriller for you. The movie name is We Are the Flesh. The movie is in the genre of horror, so viewer discretion is advised in watching more of this video. The movie is directed by Mariano. It is a total psycho movie that can disturb you for quite a while. So let's get into the movie. The central character of the movie is a psycho. He looks like he is the reincarnation of Devil himself. He imposes his cruel fantasies on other human beings. The movie begins with a shot of central character bringing bread in huge sacks. The sacks does not look hygienic. He now mixes the bread and kerosene. He mixes it for a while, so that it blends very well. Then he put the mix into a can. The can is connected to a tube. He now destroys his own furnitures to make enough wood for making fire. This is definitely the act of a psycho. Who else would destroy their own furnitures to make fire? He now uses the fire made from broken furniture to heat up the can. He is cooking something. But this doesn't look like something that is edible. After a while, the can gets heated. The other end connected to the can is kept over a small vessel to collect the outflow. After a few moments, some strange liquid starts to flow through that tube. He collects all that liquid in the plastic vessel. Then he took some of the liquid and poured it on the ground. Then he took up the cigarette lighter and gave a spark. The liquid is now burning. The new liquid is definitely an explosive. He safely stored the liquid. His name is Mariano. The aforementioned activity is just one of his day-to-day madness. He also have the habit of using a liquid drug. He frequently takes sips of that drug. He has a stock of that drug with him all the time. Whenever he get bored, he uses his old drum to make loud noises. The sound coming out is not music. It's just sound of a mad person. Days went by. One day two siblings Lucio and Fauno reached at the place of Mariano. They were also homeless. They were in search of a shelter. When they saw the place of Mariano, they thought they may stay there for a while. When they get into Mariano's room, they saw that he was sleeping on the floor. They dragged Mariano into some other room and started taking rest in his room. They both went into sleep as they were both tired and hungry. But when they were asleep, Mariano woke up. He started staring at them. Later Fauno woke up in middle of sleep. She was startled to see that the strange man they dragged before is staring at her and her brother. She quickly wakes up her brother Lucio. He also woke up. They didn't understand why that person was staring at them. But he was kind enough to give them food and water. But his eyes were crooked. He asked them why they came here. They told that they were roaming in the neighborhood for quite a while, but they still couldn't find a place to stay or sleep. They asked him whether they could stay there for a while. Mariano looked at them curiously. He told that he will let them to stay. But they have to agree to his terms and conditions. They told that they will agree for any conditions unanimously. Then they went for sleep. When they went to sleep, Mariano locked their room with huge chain and lock. Lucio didn't like this. He tried to open the door. But he was unsuccessful. Fauno was irritated by Lucio's actions. She told him to stop whatever he is doing and come to sleep. Then they both slept. The very next morning, Mariano came with his old drum and started his mad drumming. The drum was too loud. This made Lucio and Fauno to wake up from their sleep. When they woke up, Mariano gave them one white robe each. He told them to wear and comb the robes. After the dress change, their daily chores began. The jobs were odd as Mariano. He asked them to create a cave-like structure in his room, so they all started building a huge cave structure in Mariano's room. Mariano was not alone in that building. He also raised some animals too. He had a weird hobby of watching the pet animals mating each other. He got his pleasure by watching them. His attitude, attire and activities were all disgusting for normal people. Anyway, they continued building the structure. They used all available resources for them to complete the structure. That used old furniture and packing tapes to create the inner structure and used cardboard to create the outer look for the cave structure. Mariano was happy that everything was going according to his plan. Even while making the structure, he used the strange liquid on himself every once in a while. After the job, Lucio found that Mariano was doing something weird outside the room. When Lucio asked about that, Mariano warned him not to come here again. The next scene is Mariano cooking eggs. After the cooking they all sat down for dinner. Even at the dinner table, Mariano was using that liquid. He was totally addicted to that. He didn't have the eggs. Lucio asked in doubt that why wouldn't he have the eggs. Mariano replied that he doesn't like the eggs. That is why he is not having them. Fauno asked where he is getting all the eggs from. These questions makes Mariano irritated. He told them to shut the mouth and continue eating. The next day, they started their routine jobs. Lucio asked Fauna that he doesn't feel good there and asked her to leave the place together. But Fauna was not interested in that idea. Fauna asked Mariano that why is here alone and what is he doing here. Mariano said with a laugh that everyone is running from her. Nobody wants to be with her. He was mentioning loneliness as her. He loved loneliness as his wife. He told that loneliness helps oneself to discover themselves. According to him, loneliness helps a person to achieve inner peace, and it will help to shine themselves. He told that when you are alone, the thoughts which we suppress in normal scenarios will be no longer suppressed. We will be free. Then he started to move around with the action of flying. Lucio is not liking this conversation. Anyway, he continued his job. When Lucio was alone, Mariano approached him and asked whether Fauna will have an intimate relationship with him. Lucio was surprised and stunned. Mariano asked him again that whether Fauna will have physical relationship with Lucio or not. Lucio asked what rubbish Mariano was asking. He told that Fauna is his sister, and he cannot have a physical relationship with her. Mariano called him a fool for not using a beautiful girl like Fauna. Later that night, Lucio asked Fauna that this place is not safe, and they should leave here as early as possible. But surprisingly, Fauna started flirting with him. She even tried to kiss him. Lucio was shocked. He pushed her away and went to another room. In that room he saw the small bottle where Mariano stored his drug. He took it and kept it in his shoes. Later they were called for dinner. Steak was cooked by Mariano for dinner. Fauna ate it vigorously like an animal. She asked Lucio why he is not having the steak. He told he doesn't like steak. Then he shared his food with her. But suddenly Fauna fell down. She was poisoned. Fits started for her. Lucio started crying and shouting. Mariano told that he has poisoned them. He told that, if Lucio don't want the steak, he will not give the antidote. Now Lucio has to eat the steak. After Lucio has his steak, Mariano took out the liquid bottle and gave to Fauna. Now she is saved. But Mariano's madness increased that day. He started to say random words like death, ghost gas etc. and roamed all around in his large room. Fauna was sitting there. He started to flirt with her. Mariano now turned to Lucio and asked him whether he wants to have sex with Fauna. This time Lucio couldn't control his anger. He pushed Mariano and shouted that she is his sister. He started a fight with Mariano. But Mariano was stronger than he looks. While fighting, Mariano asked Lucio to have sex with Fauna continuously. Lucio lost the fight. Mariano wins the fight. He rubbed Lucio's face in the floor. He told him that he is feeling pity for Lucio. He teased Lucio for not enjoying a beautiful girl like Fauna, but Lucio kept resisting by saying that she is his sister. He resisted so much. But Mariano kept pushing him to his limits. Now Lucio have no other option. Mariano asked the siblings to get undressed. Lucio hated this idea, but didn't have any option. Now the siblings are naked. They started to mate. Mariano was enjoying the show. He started to touch himself by seeing them mating. Mariano is now filled with joy and ecstasy. His heartbeat rose. He fell down and was dropped dead. The psycho is dead. The siblings took the body and dragged it into another room. Then Lucio went to another room and started thinking about the strange things happened that day. But Fauna kept searching the dead body. She found a picture of a small girl who was pregnant. After seeing this photo, she started having visions. She started to have hallucinations. Then she went to Lucio naked. She wanted to mate with him again. But Lucio was not interested. But actually he went outside and started masturbating. He was thinking about the first mating experience. He came to the room and started to sleep. But Fauna came to the room. She came near to him. She asked how much he loves her. He told her to go to sleep. But Fauna didn't stop. She removed her underwear. She stood over him and told him to close the eyes. He did as she told. She told to open the mouth. When he opened the mouth, blood drops started to fall in his tongue. They went to sleep later. But later in the night Fauna saw the vision of pregnant girl. She woke up and started mating with Lucio again. Then she went to Mariano's room. She saw the dead body of Mariano. She couldn't resist her feelings. She started mating with Mariano. She is now a total nymphomaniac. But after some time, the whole building was under a huge storm. When Fauna started looking in Mariano's room, she couldn't find his body. She is now afraid. She ran to the room where Louis slept. He was trying to find an escape route. Suddenly a light appeared in front of them. In that light, they saw a naked person covered with slime. It was none other than Mariano. They were afraid to see him. He asked them whether they have missed him. Mariano asked them with an eerie smile. Fauna was extremely happy to see him. She hugged him and said that she missed him. She asked him to stay and never to leave them again. Mariano promised that he will not leave them again. Days passed. One day Lucio met with an accident. He lost so much blood. Since he requires blood, Fauna and Mariano captured a soldier. Mariano told the soldier that he will die one day for his country. So there is no harm in dying early. He cuts his throat. He collected his blood in a bucket. They gave it to Lucio and brought him back to life. Mariano then took the flesh and kept it in a container and secured it with a tape. Fauna and Luis has now became like Mariano. One day Fauna brought a girl to the lair. She have new girl a drop of liquid which is carried by Mariano. Now she is mating with new girl. Fauna then called Luis. Now they both are having threesome with the new girl. The room is filled with sex and joy. Mariano was happy. Everything was going according to his plan. His dreams are coming true. The room is now a center of sex. A man in black dress was seeing all this. Mariano is dancing with the pregnant girl from the pic. Mariano is filled with joy. He told everyone in the room to enjoy and eat his flesh. Everybody tore his body into pieces. Everyone ate him. Then Fauna came near Luis and wished him happy birthday. The man in black dress orchestrated a birthday wish for him. Everyone was sleeping. But only one person woke up from the sleep. It was Luis. He walked out of the building to a heavily traffic road. He is seeing daylight after a long time. He is walking out to freedom. This movie shows that sex is good, but should be in a limit. If we had anything more than we want, we will start to hate it. The movie ends here.